Good night. Hello, everyone. Hello, my beautiful risers and prosperity builders. Welcome once again to Poetry and Perspective with Placide. I am your kind hostess, Cindy Placide. Tonight, as usual, we have an amazing show for you. But before I continue with our show, I do have my guest in the background. You can't see him right now. Of course, you know who he is by now because I've already advertised him, I promoted him. But I just wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about who I am and what I do. And then we're going to bring our guest on. Now, this month is mental health awareness month, and you all know I'm big on mental health, okay, because of my own struggle. So let me start by saying I am from the beautiful Caribbean island of St. Lucia. I am a poet, author, advocate. I am a mother of five children. Now I adopted one more. Okay. So I'm a mother of five children, including my deceased daughter, my daughter-in-law, my two sons. Okay. And one adopted. So my purpose here on Poetry and Perspective with Placide is to promote others, to give them more visibility, to bring to light matters that are affecting. Let me take off my glasses for a minute because the glare is just killing me. I'll put it back on. Bring to light the matters that are affecting us in everyday life, and to help help to promote those help to promote these entrepreneurs. Um, I mean, never. Help to promote these entrepreneurs, musicians, poets, and people like myself. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And people like myself, okay, poets, musicians, and whatever, people like myself who are trying to, bring their business out here. And I'm just losing my train of thought. Okay, all about that. So listen, on the show, I can see my guest on the other side. He is smiling. On the show here, I do not discuss politics and I do not discuss religion, okay? Because I think everything have its place and everybody have their views, and these things bring contention. So I want to set it off the bats. I do not discuss politics and religion here, okay? But we have fun here. We talk about beautiful things. We talk about food. We talk about the most exciting things in life, okay? So and we have a good camaraderie on this show, okay? And all of my guests have been so respectful, so I just want to say thank you guys to my viewers for being respectful, for being to my for being respectful to my rules and regulations on the show. I'm trying to find Facebook because it has to allow me to go to public. I don't know why it's not like that yet, but anyway, okay, yes, so that my viewers can see me. Okay, yes, I think I'm on right now. So, guys, listen. What do you know about mental health? Okay, um, I got to understand what mental health was when when I had my own struggles with mental illness. And I will tell you a little bit about it. I know a lot of people know about it, but I'm going to tell you about it anyway. Every day, I think it's important that people understand that everyday people like us go through mental illness. Um, I advocate for mental illness because I had my own struggles with mental illness. I suffer with PTSD. I suffer with anxieties, chronic grief, and depression. Okay. And this thing almost took me to my grave, literally. And so I am here today because I got out. I was determined to get out of it. And events happened that helped me to check myself and to see that I am worth living, that I deserve a chance to live, and I don't need to do that to my family members. Okay. So we're gonna talk more in depth about that when I bring my guests. So this is what we're gonna talk about: mental illness. I advocate for autism as well because I have a son with autism, and he was born with autism, diagnosed at the age of 2. And also I advocate for thanatophoric dysplasia, which is a rare form of dwarfism. And my daughter that passed away, she died from that complication. Okay, you know age of 2 months old. And so this brought about a lot of hardship and other struggles for me. So with that said, I have my guest in the background there. He's there with me. He's been so patiently waiting. Today we're gonna discuss autism. Sorry, we're gonna discuss mental health, and we get to know about the man we're gonna speak about and where he's from, and to show that mental illness is not limited to just one sex. It's not limited to just one set of people. All of us go through mental illness. So without further ado, let me bring my guest on. I may have to bring back my glasses because I can't see for nothing. Oh God. So hi Dennis. I saw you in the background there laughing at me, man.
Yeah, having a good time. Life happens, you know.
You're right.
Oh boy.
Yes,
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 yes.
yes.
I don't know what's happening. So tell the viewers a little bit about yourself. Who Dennis is, where you from, a little bit about your background growing up.
Yes. Well, of course, my name is Denis Charles, and before I start, I want to say it's a pleasure being on your show. I met you a little while back, and I was very impressed
Okay.
speaking to you for the first time, and I thought we could connect and do
Yes,
something in our community. And here we are today after a couple
absolutely.
of months. So I want to say thank you so much. And to the listening audience out there, I would like everyone to like and share and listen attentively because, especially for men, we try not to show what is perceived to be weaknesses, right?
Yes,
You would
yes.
find a woman who goes through struggles and issues and loss, whatever it is, hurt, trauma, pain, disappointment, broken marriage, whatever it is, usually have triggers. We're going to get into that in a few.
Mm-hmm.
But a man is supposed to be macho, manly, and pretend, but you hurt inside. You hurt
Mm-hmm.
inside. So you internalize, you pretend all is well and good, but no, you are hurting and destroying yourself inside. But you just cannot show it outwardly because society doesn't expect that from a man. So I'm from the island of, well, next door from, Grenada, Spice Island. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. My background is business, investment in real estate investor. I'm a business owner, used to be a Wall Street stockbroker,
Mm-hmm.
and just business, you know. I like BYOB, be your own boss. So
That's
whatever
right.
makes financial financial independence, that's me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to diversify my income stream. I never depend on one source of income, one job, paycheck to paycheck,
Mm-hmm.
multiple sources of income. And this is the key to financial independence. So I'm all over the place. But as I said, yes, my background is in investment,
Mm-hmm.
insurance, real estate, and all of that.
Absolutely. This is impressive. Impressive. So tell us a little bit about that. You said your background is in real estate. So tell us the viewers a little bit of just a little bit more about what you do, and
Yes.
if you can go a little bit more in depth so we can know who Dennis is.
Right. So from an early age, when I left Grenada and emigrated here, I went to Brooklyn and I lived there for 2 years at my aunt's house. But I always had a dream of making it to the top. I didn't know exactly what I would be getting into, but average wasn't for me. Mediocrity wasn't my cup of tea. But at the time, I didn't know what to study, where to go, but I knew I had to empower myself. And in doing so, probably I might have had to go to school, try different things, get some skill sets, you know what I'm saying, or some certificate in whatever it is. So I tried law enforcement at Brooklyn College. I was a peace officer. I went to John Jay for a while, but I wanted more than that. I wanted more than that. So I went to Baruch University. I think I did Black history, politics and stuff, and then I got bored with it. So I went, after 3.5 years, I went to Brooklyn College and I went into economics.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied economics and finance there for a while. And a friend of mine introduced me to the stock market. I'm like, what is that? We don't have that in Grenada. And he could make, millions of dollars and all this. I'm like, well, let me see. So I did. I went and they hired me the same time. I had to go to school. Well, I'm like, I'm going to school in Brooklyn College full time.
Wow.
So I'm going to school in Brooklyn College full time at night. And I have to go to school on Wall Street full time in the day.
Wow.
I'm like, how am I going to do that? So I had to get up home like 5 because, you walk up East New York to Pennsylvania to take the train. It's called that's number 3 train.
Mm-hmm.
To go to Wall Street, I had to run to get there before 7 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
And then about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I have to run again to catch a train number 5 to get to Flatbush and Nostrand to go to Brooklyn College.
Yes.
And then leave at 9:30 at night sometimes, take another train to go to East New York and study for both of them.
Wow.
Full time. And I graduated, I think, the second highest out of about 40 kids from big Ivy League schools and all of that, who came from Massachusetts, California, all these people with money, Chicago, sending children on Wall Street. And I beat all of them, except one guy. But I beat them still going to Brooklyn College with a 12 credit load on my back and still getting A's. So this is Mission Impossible. Then they're like, this guy, Denis Charles, they sent my name to every brokerage house and investment company. People, they were calling me. I didn't know how they get my name and my number. But long story short, I spent about 5 years. 9/11 really turned it around for me. I had to get out of that. I didn't go to work that day, but I saw the plane on the TV going into the building, which was one of the buildings that I used to go hang out. I wasn't married yet. I would go talk to the girls and all of that, try to get somebody's number those days. And I saw one of the guys coming down with a briefcase. Well, I turned the TV, and from that day, I have never watched any replay because he could have been a friend of mine. Well, I know he died from the height he was coming down it. So that traumatized me so much, right?
Wow. Yes.
That was the first major one. And for years, I wouldn't go anywhere around Wall Street, Bowling Green, or anywhere down there. I just kept away. So the whole place was destroyed, and a lot of people lost their lives. So I just decided I'm out. And I made a move to Atlanta here.
Wow. So Atlanta was basically your getaway spot from
that was my escape
that you were facing.
Yes, because no way in hell I was going back selling stocks to anybody because we were so scared somebody could blow up the train station on the Wall Street, or and you don't know who is who. So what we would do when we get off, you couldn't call another broker by name. I mean, we were just petrified.
Wow.
Put it that way. And a lot of companies just shut down. A lot of brokers went into different careers, and I decided to get out, move. And when I came here at the time, there was a company called Sherwin-Williams. Not Sherwin-Williams, Countrywide. They did loans and mortgages, for brokerage. And I hooked up with them. I bought about 8 houses and a commercial. I dabbled into real estate big time.
So hold on one second. Okay. So let me get this straight. Because of the experience that you had with the World Trade Center, it was difficult for you to be able to stay in even that state anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had to get out.
What were some of the feelings that you were feeling at that time?
Well, number one, when you're, traumatized that much, because as I said, I saw the free fall of this guy coming down, you know. The wind was blowing the tie up this way. Well, I know he's coming down to die anyway, but with the
Yes.
fire and all of that, when the plane struck, he had to escape
Uh-huh.
because it exploded inside of there with all the,
Yeah.
I don't know, jet fuel or whatever it
Yes.
is. I mean, a lot
Yes.
of those who didn't run got burnt alive. And then after that, who was still probably half alive, the building crushed
Collapse.
down on yeah, collapsed on them.
Yes, I don't mean to cut you short, but you saying this, and I could imagine, I could visualize you just watching this.
Yes, yes.
And I cannot see no any way that somebody's not going to be traumatized by this.
Oh,
You know that
yes,
person is going down, and you know that person is going down to their death.
yes. He jumped to his death.
And that's where PTSD comes in, the post-traumatic stress.
Yes.
Because you're traumatized just by seeing that, and you knew it be, and because, and not only that, because you, that was a building that you frequented.
Hmm.
I'm sure you know a lot of people over there.
Yeah. Mary Lynch was in there. At one point, there was a Trinidadian accountant. I was trying to get him to hook me up, big time with Mary Lynch,
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad next door to Grenada,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be good for me as a black person. There
Mm-hmm.
were not too many of us there, people that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes.
this place. And to make it big, you had to be smarter than everybody. But as I said, when that happened, I couldn't face it. Nothing in New York, corporate America, nothing was exciting to me anymore. Getting
Mm-hmm.
away, getting out was, I told my wife, I am out of here. So I took a trip to Atlanta and I'm like, I'm going to look for a house. I'm going to get out. But I want to say something that a lot of us, I mentioned men in particular, and
Yes.
we are in mental health or mental illness month, if you want to call it that.
Yes. Yes.
Um, we sort of like keep quiet
Mm-hmm.
silently and we die inside when we could seek help,
Mm-hmm.
when we could seek professional counseling. But you have to be so macho and all of that
Mm-hmm.
and show that you're
That's where the
strong.
condition meant to be, like, you're supposed to be
Yes,
strong.
yeah,
Yes.
you have to be strong. So we have many what you would call triggers that
Mm-hmm.
would set somebody off after a while. Um, because they're not themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might lose weight, they might lose appetite, they might not be interested in just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
don't sleep well at night. There are many other forms in which it expresses itself. So anxiety, always anxious and restless.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might lash out at somebody. They might
Mm-hmm.
just make a little joke. The way they talk, you're just, people cannot understand you. It's because you are going through some trauma or some loss.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to you in your past and you haven't overcome that,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So you have different manifestations of the condition.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is said that if it is probably, maybe a week or two or something like that, and you get back normal, fine, not a big deal. But if that condition persists and you are in that state for a prolonged period, then that is serious business. You need clinical help, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's pathological now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Yes.
a temporary setback, something happen and you recover after a while. Yes, 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 you get back good in society, good with your family and friends and everything, you get back to normal, fine. But for those who suffer in secret, in silence,
Mm-hmm.
for a longer duration of time, they should be seeking help. They should be seeking counseling. Pretending and all of that, hiding, you know,
And
wouldn't
that's
solve the situation.
and what a lot of people do. I was guilty of that. I used to mask it because I didn't want
Yes.
anybody to ask me, "Are you
Yes.
okay? Are you
Hmm.
okay?" It's because anytime anybody asks me, it's just like almost like the tears are just gonna come pouring down. So I used to mask it. I used to always be smiling, but behind that smile, I am dying inside. I am dying inside. I'm literally wasting away, and nobody was
Yes.
seeing it.
Yes. You need a shoulder to lean on.
Mm-hmm.
As they say, it takes a village to raise a child.
Mm-hmm.
But what about a big man or a big woman? You need somebody's shoulder
Mm-hmm.
to lean on to. And that is why, as I said, post COVID,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you look at the news in the South down here, we live in what is called the gun states, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? You could just
Mm-hmm.
walk in any store and purchase a firearm. So you
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of kids because of all sorts of issues, whether it's the COVID shot they take, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. But just walking into a school, and I'm not saying this country didn't have crime before COVID, but it is just getting out of hand. Yesterday I had to run from my business, jump in my car when my wife tell me there was a shooter on the loose,
In
just
Atlanta.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
yes, pumping bullets. I said, what?
Yeah.
He said, yes, police looking for him all over the place. They don't know where he is, what he look like, what he driving. I said, what you telling me? She said, yes. I said, what you saying? Ah, I
Mm-hmm.
grabbed my keys. I locked my door. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm out of here. I took the highway so fast.
But give me 1 minute. Let me say hello to my beautiful, beautiful viewers who are on the show. I would like to say a good night to them for my comments. Katrina Williams, good night, sweetie. Hello, thank you for being here. Facebook user, good night. Richie, my darling, how are you? And there's Laureen, all the way from London, England. Good night. Kennison, good night, and Catalina Anthony, good night. We have some really good, very beautiful guests. And let me see on my phone who's on the other side. I gotta go to the other side. We have Marie Dantes. Oh, my mommy, how are you, sweetheart? Jamil Albert, good night. Sunshine James, good night. So I'm sure we have a lot more people there that are not even showing their faces. Welcome to all my viewers. Thank you so much. I know if I don't give my viewers love, I'm gonna get a mouthful from certain ones, okay? I know who they are.
Yeah.
So I really love to acknowledge my viewers and to let them know that I appreciate them. But tonight we are speaking to Mr. Denis Charles, who is an entrepreneur. He's an amazing man who has done amazing things. I can't even remember everything you said, but he is talking. He's talking to us about mental illness, and he's going to go into a little bit more in depth into his struggles with mental health. Okay, and we can see that mental health, it's no matter what stature you are, no matter whether you president, the low man down there, in between, wherever you are, it does not care. And I always tell people that sickness doesn't, death, sickness, old age, all of them, they don't have no friends. They don't care what background you're from. They don't care what race you are. When they come in, you better be ready because they are going to come.
That is correct. That is correct. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And all the viewers from England and overseas looking, you should continue. This is a very good topic, especially this month. When you look at economic
Mm-hmm.
triggers, loss of jobs due
Mm-hmm.
to automation, we
Mm-hmm.
have the war in
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine. You have protests in France, and every day they're burning someplace down or whatever it is. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's all over the world. In this country, since late last year, over 200,000 high
Mm-hmm.
tech Silicon Valley, internet
Mm-hmm.
specialists. These folks make over, six figures.
Mm-hmm.
Over 200,000 lost their jobs.
Oh,
Now, just
wow.
suppose you have a family to feed, your daughter might be going to college and you have to pay it because you're not going to get student loan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Pell and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you get a pink slip, just like how
Mm-hmm.
Amazon and those, places do. They
Mm-hmm.
just tell you the same time you're locked out, well, you're fired. They don't give you advance notice. a week or 2 weeks or a month so he could go look for another replacement job,
Mm-hmm.
right?
True.
So
Mm-hmm.
people react different ways in different ways, and somebody might just go pick up a shotgun
Mm-hmm.
and go back to the same workplace and start opening some shots. It
Yes.
is crazy, and it happens all over the place in the school system. Here, a student might have some what we call some beef, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote, some little situation with somebody else, right? And okay, so he goes home, gets his father's pistol, loaded it up, and walk back to school like nothing happening. But he
Mm-hmm.
knows what his game plan is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's all this mass shooting and all of that. We have issues, and
Yes,
a lot of issues we
a
have to
lot.
solve.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this disorder, psychological disorder.
Imagine it. People are losing their jobs. People are losing family members. People not cannot eat properly. They can't pay their rent. You know,
Yep.
their families are depending on them to help them. They can't do it, and there's pressure coming from everywhere. You understand? They
Yes.
may have children. There's so much that we go through in this lifetime, and
Mm-hmm.
people don't know where to turn. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to do. You know, the system that they're looking for to help them is broken.
Yes, it's no longer there. The social
It's
safety
broken.
net is
Yes.
not there like
Mm-hmm.
before. So your work, the cost of living is going up so high relative to your paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
You have 95% of us, do that 9 to 5. We trade hours for dollars, but we are not
Mm-hmm.
financially secure. And I could give you some statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Out of every 100 persons,
Mm-hmm.
you only have about 5 who are wealthy or
Yes.
financially independent,
Yes.
right? There was a study done from college. Let's say they took 100 kids all the way from 25 years old to 65. So that's a 40-year lifespan, right?
Yes.
And they track them. Out of the 100, one was super wealthy, 4 were financially independent. So make that 5. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
That is why we talk about the 5 percenters.
Yes.
54 were broke. And
Wow.
the others were probably were in and out of
Maybe
the
I fall in that
institutions.
bracket too.
Well, I'm telling you, 50. So the majority of us would not succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So hence the reason we have to get the help, professional help we need when we have issues and things that hold us back. We're not sleeping right. We are angry about something. Maybe dad left the home, walk out on mom and on his family. It could be anything, right? But
Yes. Yes.
divorce and breakup, let me tell you something. Financial hardship,
Mm-hmm.
financial hardship,
Yes.
right? Plays a big role in the breakup of families. And
Yes.
something else they say, when families are broken up like that, and the court award, let's say, the kids to the mother most of the times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the mother has to go out and do a 9 to 5. You have a teenage boy coming up now. He's in the stage of rebellion. Okay, you want to
Mm-hmm.
go and smoke, or, well, whatever it is you want to go and do with his
Mm-hmm.
friends, join
Mm-hmm.
a gang and do, all this kind of crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the felonies committed, when you really track them down, when you have young male going into adulthood and all of that, and the mother, now he's taller than his mother most of the time. Now
Mm-hmm.
they over right? And the
Yeah, I
boys
have
big
a
up.
14-year-old. He's all the way up here.
Well, I'm telling you, my son is 18 and he's much taller than his mom. She had to look up. So just imagine you're trying to discipline that little boy that want to go and hang out late with some friends and do bad things, follow,
Mm,
you cannot discipline.
nope.
So what would happen? They might jump in a car. Somebody might have a gun. Somebody might mug somebody. The police arrest every one of them going in now. You have a criminal record, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's serious, you get a felony.
Yeah.
So broken homes or single mothers raising young male. I know we talk about Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
The statistics show they have a higher propensity to be felons or get a record than if they are raised by the father, who probably is big enough to discipline him.
Yes.
So they're making a case that they should look at that, because the criminal justice system, feel, especially here in the South, with young
Mm-hmm.
black males, right? And most of those males, they are raised by the mothers.
I can relate to that. Thank God my boys did my oldest son did not go the wrong way, because I didn't find a boyfriend, but there was a male figure in his life
Yeah.
who really brought him up, and then he saw the things that I went through. So he was always like a strong-minded boy. So he would not go out with the wrong crowd. But I raised two boys, and it is not easy raising boys as a woman, because that little, when you speak as a woman, they but when the men speak, oh,
Yeah.
they will pay attention. Even my 14-year-old, when I speak, I have to speak so many times. But when my nephew, my son that I adopted, when he speaks, he would just like, yes. I'm going like, why can't he just do that for me? Yeah, so a lot of these things that cause mental illness, because think about to the peer pressure that people
Mhm,
go through. You understand? So
mhm.
um all of these things contribute to our mental demise. It does.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
now tell me, I know you talked about the World Trade Center, okay? And I felt it for you, because I would not, I think I would have done the same thing. Oops, I'm leaving. Pack up and leave, okay? So what was your most trying experience for you to date about with mental health?
Yes. So what happened? I probably did what you do. What you did
Mm-hmm.
was to suppress.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, when they're going through stuff, they hide
Mm-hmm.
and they pretend,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to face that reality.
Yes.
Even if I were to go up to New York, I would pass on the Verrazano Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who drive, well, most people probably may
Mm-hmm.
not know. I go through Staten Island and I
Mm-hmm.
take the Bell Parkway in Brooklyn. In other words, I don't go to Manhattan at all. I don't want to see this Wall Street business, this World Trade Center at all.
Wow.
I'm not going there. So they say out of sight, out of mind.
So let me ask you, you've never been there, right? I didn't mean to cut you off, because
I never went inside there. Never went back in there.
so many questions are coming in my head right now, and so many feelings, and emotions, because I feel what you're feeling, right? What so you've never been there.
Mm-mm.
What if not even close to there? What kind of feelings? What kind of feelings do you feel? What happens up here
Ah,
when you even think about just walking there? Or even just you're
yeah.
gonna go to New York and that's where it happened.
Yes. Yes. What I can say, apart from maybe one of these days, I'm going to have the nerve, because the old men used to play what is called chess, right? They used
Mm-hmm.
to play chess in there. And I used to get gyro
Mm-hmm.
and what you call falafel or something, some Middle Eastern thing with
Mm-hmm.
lamb. They slice the lamb and it smells so
Mm-hmm.
nice, right? So we used to eat and hang. But I know it's going, the memories is going to be hard. It
Mm-hmm.
is going to be very hard. And the worst thing you want a big man to do is to cry,
Yeah.
especially to cry in public.
Mm-hmm.
The way we do it is, if you want to, something hurt you, you're supposed to hide.
Mm-hmm.
That is how, we are cultured to do. Folks may not, they're not supposed to see that because it shows weakness.
Mm-hmm.
But many times I am here and I go upstairs in my bedroom. Well, there was something else that happened to me. I invested in a commercial property
Mm-hmm.
and I just rented it out. I said, okay, let me go home, get a nice retirement house in Grenada, blah, 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 I'm done. I'd
Mm-hmm.
come and see my family and all of that. We could take vacation in our own place. We'd have to go to a hotel. That happened July of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got back after maybe a 2 months vacation, and
Mm-hmm.
boom, the building went up in smoke. So you talk about mental illness. Let me tell you something. I don't want to show you my medication. It was so hard for me. It went up in smoke. And when I got the call that my property was on fire, and I got there, all I could see was ambulance, hazmat, fire truck, the whole 9 yards. Police, they blocked the whole street, right?
Mm.
So I rushed in there. Immediately, the captain got me and put me outside, and they put a tape: "Do not enter. You couldn't cross." I went across the street and I sat below a tree just in case I got a stroke or a heart attack or something. So I
Mm-hmm.
sat down on the ground. I sat on my butt and I leaned on the tree, so I can't fall anymore because I'm down
Yes.
already.
Mm-hmm.
And hours, they just couldn't put out the blaze, the building. Well, you know what they do when they come, they break and they mash
Yes.
up, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. My wife told me to go home. And eventually I ended up at Emory, scan the brain thing, all of that. It was so hard for weeks now. Forget Wall Street. For weeks, I
Yes.
wouldn't go on that street. She and all wouldn't pass there.
Wow.
She and all would not pass there. We own the property. She wouldn't even go there to see the ashes and the burnt building and all the trash and all the stuff. And my son came and he said, "Well, Dad, are we going to be poor now?" That was the worst comment I heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't answer him, and my daughter would lock herself in the room and just cry because they enjoy a certain lifestyle.
Lifestyle. Yes.
Dad, are we going to be poor now? So I didn't want to look at him. I don't know what to say because I
At
just
that
saw.
point, you don't know what to say.
No, I couldn't say anything.
No.
All my tenants, I had 3 tenants, all my tenants pack up and they left. I'm like, oh my God. Just like that, you could be here today and down here tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a major blow to me to recover from that. I didn't know how I'm going to do it. So they told me, take a trip back to Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
So I boarded a plane and I went back. I went on Grandance Beach. I spent about a month in Grenada, just pretend. Well, they would call and check on me occasionally
Mm-hmm.
and make sure everything is good. Maybe about 3 calls a day, especially my daughter. And I
Mm-hmm.
spent time with my mom. But there are many ways that what you call coping mechanism.
Yes.
I play music. Our national dish is oil down. So just
Mm-hmm.
cook food. Give me some
Mm-hmm.
dumpling, some bake, some fish
Mm-hmm.
cake, things that I knew in my childhood. When I
Mm-hmm.
go to like a mango tree, I
Mm-hmm.
say, thank you, God, Jesus. And I start
Mm-hmm.
just eating mango. I ate
Mm-hmm.
so much mango, I couldn't go no place. I had to stay in the house.
You should have bought some for me now.
I tell you, that mango had me busy. But it's coping mechanism because you have to latch on to something. So my
Yes.
mother said, Dennis, no more mango and banana, right banana for you. No more mango. I said, oh my God, my stomach. No more mango. So let's play music. And
Mm-hmm.
I started playing music. I went down with some incense. I burned frankincense and all of that. And I could meditate, just sit and relax. But I have to take
Mm-hmm.
my head out from up here.
Yes. Yes.
So there are many ways, but trust me, you you need friends, you need family, you need to meditate, get into a space. I normally go on the beach early in the morning, and it's
Mm-hmm.
me, the birds, and the breeze,
Mm-hmm. And the
right?
waves of the sea.
And I just look at the sun rising. You normally, if you look on my Facebook page, you see I always put in sunrise and sunset.
Yes.
Well, that is where, yeah. So I would go
Yeah.
in there early, myself alone,
Mm-hmm.
and just sit and just nature all around me, watch the waves and the birds catching little fish, crab running up and down the sand, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is. And after about a month or so, I came back again. I still couldn't go by my shop.
Wow.
And eventually I said, well, the cab company wants me to bulldoze it. I don't think I'll do it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to have to face it, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is, find the money, and I'm going to have to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I managed to do, dig deep, but it's still hard going in there, knowing what it
Mm-hmm.
was before.
Yes.
But you have to have that inner strength
Yes.
and
Yes.
that
You do.
determination to win. Because the only time you lose is when you quit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I am not a quitter.
That's right.
Yes. Amen.
You know, you said at the beginning, um, you do not see yourself in that place, right?
Yes.
And it's amazing what our mindset can do for us. You did not want to see yourself in that place. You didn't see
No.
yourself deserving of where you were. And then you were determined and consistent in what you did. You made sacrifices to get where you wanted to get. And
Yes.
life threw things at you. It threw the curveballs, it threw the fire, it threw everything. But through it all, you are still standing, Dennis.
Yes.
You are still
Yes.
standing. And I always say, as long as you have breath in you, you can always start over. I hear people say, I don't know, it's going to be hard to start over. You are still alive today. Me, it was my little boy who literally the last time I tried to take my own life, and I had a little bit of that story, and I have to say it again every time for people to understand.
Mhm.
We go through some things, and they will tell you, "Oh, you should be strong. You're a strong person." Yes, we are strong, but what happens when you cannot be strong anymore? You understand? We are made of rocks. We are not made of iron.
Yep.
We are human beings with feelings. We are imperfect human beings. So we are going to feel things. We are going to feel loss. And that what
Mhm.
you lost, your investment into something big that was going to bring you returns. A lot of people don't understand grief goes hand in hand with mental illness.
Mhm.
You have to be grieving something for you to get to that point where, and like you said, when you go past a certain time in that mind frame, you need help. And I went for years without getting help for all the things that I was facing. And I although I talked about it, but there are a lot of things I could not say, and I felt like
Mhm.
nobody wasn't understanding what I was going through. And as a woman, so a lot of sometimes we like to talk, but men keep that stuff inside.
Yes.
Men keep
Yes.
stuff inside. And then that's why you find we hear a lot of men are hanging themselves.
Yes.
We hear them like, back in the islands, you had they drink Zone or do
Yes.
whatever
Mhm.
because they cannot handle the pressures that are coming to them. And they have been dealing with it for so long because it is not just one day get up and it happened. It is a build-up. It's just like sickness is a
Yes.
process. It takes years to
Yes.
manifest.
It takes time.
It takes time. And
It
so
takes
when you
time.
don't get help for that thing, it would eat you up and break you down.
Yes.
I
And
Yeah, go ahead.
something, sorry to cut you,
No
something
problem.
that was very helpful to me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a Nigerian church,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, somebody invited me to go to church, and they would pray for me because
Mm-hmm.
he used to come at my business,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, Dennis, come, come to worship on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, well, if that would help me, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
But there were two churches in the same area, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know which one is which one because I couldn't remember the number. So I went to the wrong church. So when I'm like, where is Mr. So and so and so? He's a car dealer. He buys cars, and my guys work on his vehicles. Um, they said, no, this is not the church. There's another church down there. I said, oh, so he's in the back. Well, I'm here already. I'm like, you know what? I'll
Mm-hmm.
stay. So I did go back to him, and I said I promised him I'd come back. So I keep going back. So that pastor, when they heard of the news, he came right here on this table, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and my wife, we prayed, and he brought some little items for me. He
Mm-hmm.
sang, we sat, we talked, and that was so helpful. I never thought he would drive miles and leave the church on a Sunday and come and sit with me and try to lift me up.
Mm-hmm.
So the next Sunday when I went back, they brought me up front,
Mm-hmm.
the podium,
Mm-hmm.
and I sat there and I said, okay, let your, or how you say, thy will be done. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's a time when you just have to admit you need help
Yes. And
and
it
they
and the
constantly help
and these when we go through these things, a lot of people, I know there's a lot of people who don't believe in God, and everybody has their own faith. But it is important that we have a good support system. It is
Yes.
important for us to have a spiritual routine, because we didn't come here by ourselves. You
Right.
understand? It was we were created. And so that maker up there, he loves us. We're going through stuff. He just cannot come down and just wrap his hands literally around us, but he provides other ways for us to find comfort with whatever we are going through, you
Yeah.
know. And I
Yeah.
know at my when I was going through my mental, I was angry with God. When my daughter died, I was angry. I'm going like, why would you allow my daughter to die? And then my mom died. I'm going like, why you keep taking people? Why you keep allowing them to die? Why? I was mad with him because I lost like about 10 or 11 family members within 5 years.
Ooh.
Yeah. And they were just back to back to back to back. I was angry with God. I said, you don't love me no more. You've abandoned me.
Oh my. Well,
Yes.
yeah. When you really when you look at it, you talk about depth, we must always strive, you know, to be the best of ourselves. We
Mm-hmm.
must not be on the surface, superficial, right? Dig
Mm-hmm.
deep. So we have to fortify ourselves. It is
Mm-hmm.
called personal development, right? You must
Mm-hmm.
have a good presence of mind.
Mm-hmm.
You must have faith. You must
Mm-hmm.
believe in you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always think that you could aspire, you could accomplish, right? Have a
Mm-hmm.
good foundation.
Yes.
Family is good because you get support at the home. Charity begins at home.
Mm-hmm.
But in the wider community, right? Seek friends and associates that can help you build. You want to go up,
Yes.
not down, because a lot of
That.
friends will help you go down, but you could go down by
Yes.
yourself. All you need is
Yes.
gravity. So
Yes.
if you hang out with four guys or four girls, four friends who ain't going nowhere, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be number five. So
Mm-hmm.
select your friends carefully
Mm-hmm.
because you are the sum total of the five friends you hang out
Mm-hmm.
with, your five closest
Yeah.
friends. That would make you. So I want to say something that maybe would be very encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, number one, in life, there is always a price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing for nothing. You always have to make a sacrifice to accomplish something. You always have to plant a seed before you reap a harvest,
Mm-hmm. There is
right?
no love without sacrifice.
That's right. So it's a matter of what your sacrifice will be. Would you do
Mm-hmm.
a little today? Just read, invest in yourself, mental
Mm-hmm.
clarity, meditate, think about self improvement. I don't care if it's a page a day or a chapter a day you read, but always
Mm-hmm.
try to better you, to learn
Mm-hmm.
something new, develop another skill set, or maybe a side
Yes.
hustle, a side job, multiple
Mm-hmm.
income streams, right? Don't depend on
Mm-hmm.
one paycheck. You could get cut, they could let you go, you get fired. Then you're
Mm-hmm.
broke. Now you're going to commit suicide or probably going to shoot up the building.
That's why you say be your own boss. Be
I
your
tell
own
you,
boss. BYOB.
be your own boss. So, the whole thing is what your sacrifice shall be. Are you
Mm-hmm.
going to invest a little today to better you, or would you pay a bigger price tomorrow? That is the penalty for not doing
Mm-hmm.
something now today.
True.
Always look at multiple income streams.
Mm-hmm.
Always, because don't put all the eggs in one basket.
Listen, you gonna come back here. You know that, right? Because we gonna talk about money, okay?
Yes.
Today we talking about we gonna come back and talk. We gonna get some financial education next time you come
Yes.
back here. So people,
Yes,
y'all gotta
indeed.
be ready for him again now. Yes, so that is really really true, and I've learned for the since I got out of my mental. I'm still. I come here every day. Here is being on this show is my outlet.
Yes.
It is my outlet. You had to go to the beach and more. This show is my outlet. I get to meet people like you. I get to hear people's stories. I get to be inspired and encouraged to do more, to hear more of these stories, to help others understand that you are not alone in your struggles. You are not alone. Not alone. And
Not
as I
alone.
listen to different people, I have become so empowered,
Yes.
so empowered to better myself. And it's like I was in my little cocoon. Nobody didn't, for years, nobody, a lot of people, they didn't know where I was. They didn't know where CD Placide was because I came to Georgia and I just, like, I put myself in a ball. People were looking for me. People thought I was dead.
Coping mechanisms,
Yes. I
Yeah,
just stayed in
different
my
people
own
cope.
zone and just stayed
Mhm,
really barely do anything.
mhm,
And I found that as I've grown to love who I am because I didn't love me before.
mhm,
Because I grow to love who I am, who the woman that I have become, the confidence that I have in myself, and the fact that I'm
mhm.
learning to have different streams of income. Listen, I don't afraid to say my age. People be afraid. I'm
Yes.
48 years old and I am just getting started. I lost a lot of years, but it's better you start late than you don't start at all. I am
Amen.
just
Amen.
getting started. You will swim a
Yes.
sweet 16 when you see me the next time, oh my gosh. But thank you so much
Yeah.
for your contribution. So let me ask, we have a few more minutes. Let me ask you. So
Yeah, if the audience has any question, could you look and see that
yeah,
I
I'm
can
looking. They
answer?
don't have any questions. So, probably they're going to write something later. So if you have any
Uh,
questions, guys, any questions, but they're going to get you back up here because they're going to be asking questions.
I'll be
So,
back. I'll be back with
yeah, he'll be back. So,
opportunities and so
yes,
forth.
yes.
Yeah.
So what was your lowest point?
I got a call one Sunday morning from New York, and the young lady said, "It is me." I said, "Who is me?" I wouldn't mention her name. She probably
Mm-hmm.
listening. I don't know because she's on Facebook too. So I belong to the NDC chapter,
Mm-hmm.
that with the government in Grenada, Deacon Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm part of
Yes.
that chapter, NDC.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you just have to hang in there and be strong. So I'm like, oh my God. It was about 6 that Sunday morning. My wife worked on Sunday, so she just left the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, let me just close the door because I didn't want my children to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, Dennis, 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 I am telling you, you're going to build back and you're going to get back stronger, better than before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying to myself, I don't know if it's the Lord that asked her to call me because
Mm-hmm.
I pretended everything was good. My wife left, but I was grieving so bad inside.
Mm-hmm.
I lost 3 tenants.
Mm-hmm.
And that was apart from what I do on the other side, but that was security, financial security for my family.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
My God, I just broke down. But I made sure I
Yeah.
closed the door so my
Mm-hmm.
kids couldn't hear. And I cried like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I cried. I think she probably cried too. Because this is somebody who looks at me all the time on Facebook talking about financial this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I normally, I used to talk finance on a radio station down here, 106liveradio.com. The
Mm-hmm.
program is called Money Mondays. Then I have another financial show in Canada on Genesis Magazine, Gem FM, and
Mm-hmm.
one in New York, J Wonder FM.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm known all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
But look at me now. After giving advice and helping to uplift people,
Mm-hmm.
look at my situation. I'm flat down
Mm-hmm.
mentally and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So she said she just felt the need to call me this early. I guess it was on her mind, or maybe she
Mm-hmm.
spoke to somebody the night and she said, I'm going to call him early in the morning, Sunday. I bawled.
Wow.
And she said, no, you're going to do it. And that was a motivation for me. Maybe I just need to go there, passing from the building. So I did,
Mm-hmm.
but I drove fast. I ain't gonna lie to you. I drove so fast. I passed that building so fast. So I'm
Mm.
like, okay, I turn around now, right? I have to make a U-turn now. Well, what am I going to do? Pass fast again? Or maybe park in front of the gate and face it, face the reality. Now, my
Mm-hmm.
wife at work is me alone now in the car, me alone.
Mm-hmm.
So if I break down, it's me alone, nobody.
Yes.
And I said, okay. I took a deep breath. I drove slowly and no traffic much. It's a Sunday. And I pulled in front of there. And I just went off in a different zone. I mean, actually, my wife thought I was going mad because when I got here, I came downstairs to get a glass of water. I stand up in front of the fridge and I don't know what I came for. I went back upstairs and I'm like, what I went down to get? And I didn't remember his water I want to drink.
Mm.
It was so, my daughter would come and say, good morning, Dad. And when she come back from school, I'm like, why didn't you say hi to me? You don't come and see. Dad, I've been here and you talk to me. I said, hi, I'm going. I said, me? You're talking to me while I'm asleep? She said, Dad. I said, okay, okay. Well, it gets so bad. My wife make an appointment to the Emery.
Mm-hmm.
I got, I got check me, put some MRI and some CAT scan,
You were
make sure.
having a breakdown.
Yeah, they had the
Yes.
breakdown, and you begin to forget, right? You
Mm-hmm.
forget, and I'm in a conversation with them. Then I don't know if they're talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
So the signs were they were getting scared. So both
Yes.
her and my son, so eventually they said no. We're going to the brain specialist. We're going to see what's going on, where you're at, what's going on with you. You're taking it on. Life goes on. Stop grieving. We're gonna be okay. You know, and all of that, all of that. It took a while, but I'm still in the process um, of finding strength, and I find it in the songs that I play from my childhood. I would go and play a nice little Bob Marley, a little
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Cliff. I can see clearly now
Oh, the
the
rain
rain
is
on.
yes,
I
yes.
can see all obstacles in my, all
It's
those things.
I
Yep.
I applaud you because it takes a strong person
Hmm.
because men don't want to talk about the illnesses like
No,
that.
no, I don't
It
talk about
takes a
that.
strong man, a strong-willed man who has that desire to grow from what they're going through,
Hmm.
to cope,
Hmm.
and to be able to get up and to rise again from whatever that happened. And people may call you coward, they may call you weak, but that is a sign of strength. Courage is a sign of strength, it's not weakness. It's not weakness. When you have the courage to face your fears, you have the courage to admit, I am not well, and I'm going
Hmm.
to take matters into my hands and try to get better. That's you
Hmm.
are being courageous.
Yep. I had to do it for my kids and my wife. I said, well, I'm gonna try.
Mm-hmm.
Let us go. She said, I'm gonna drive. You're not
Mm-hmm.
driving. I sat in the car. They brought me to, and I said, it's gonna take a little while, but I'm gonna get back. So what I can say to the listening audience, your happiness index, right? The things that make you happy, stay close to it. The things that stress you, stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could show you the things that make me happy. What you see here, a bottle of red wine, Manny Chevy's. I'm gonna take a glass when we done. I'm
I
gonna
will,
get some
I will
ice.
come and look for you to drink some Medicine with you.
Man, I'm telling you, it's right here next to me. I'm gonna
Yes.
take a shot, right? But the nice, for instance, there is this song, kind of old blues. A change is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
I play that religiously. Sometime in the morning, I wake up. I want to listen to those things because
Mm-hmm.
they reinforce positivity to you,
Yes. Yes.
right? So you need some quiet moments.
Mm-hmm.
Get out from the TV and the noise and who shoot who and all that. Get out from the TV and stop watch all of that negativity, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And surround yourself with good vibration, good vibes.
Yes.
Your happiness index, right?
Yes.
I feel so happy when I get some long mango, mango long, or they call it the
Oh
Asian mango,
Lord.
or
You
some
you speaking
sugar
that
apple.
language now.
I'm telling you, man, you know, and stay within that zone
Yes.
that gives you pleasure, you're happy, it gives you comfort, you remember your childhood, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
you cleanse your environment from all the negative
Yes.
stimuli out there. Stay
Yep.
positive, stay happy. And that is what helped me to bounce back.
Mm-hmm.
I still have some ways to go and I'm getting there. So yes, right now I am a health I'm with a health company,
Mm-hmm.
and my focus is the incidence of cancer,
Mm-hmm.
but also our gut microbiome, eating right,
Mm-hmm.
eating healthy. Since COVID, we got to
Mm-hmm.
start to eat better,
Mm-hmm.
not just to get well, but to prevent. Prevention is better than cure.
Exactly.
And all those things, is where
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
heading. Yes, I'm still with the financial investment
Mm-hmm.
thing, but
Yes.
I'm doing both health and wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your health is actually the best wealth you can have.
Oh
Because
yes,
if that is not working,
you're gonna be broke.
you can't function to take care of everything that's happening inside of you.
Yeah, you're gonna
You
be broke.
understand? So your
Yeah.
health, our health, the biggest health, the most expensive health, wealth we have is our health. Then
Is your health?
everything else is going to come afterwards, you know? And
Yes.
today I was telling somebody that I told the person, do not deprive yourself of your happiness.
No.
We cannot
Mm-mm.
deprive ourselves of happiness. If it is not, if any the whatever is causing you that stress, you have got to relieve yourself of it. Because
Yes.
at the end of the day, we have to live our best life. We have to be healthy. We have to be happy. We have to stay focused. You understand? And living on stress feed illnesses feed on stress.
Yes. Stress, anxiety, unhappiness, negativity, things that happened in the past,
Mhm,
sometimes we have to look forward and move on. All
mhm,
the bad things that happened to me, it
mhm.
doesn't mean that I'm going to lose hope and don't have faith in a better tomorrow,
Never lose hope.
you know? So, just keep plugging away, keep moving one step at a time, one day at a time. Every morning you wake up, you say, thank you, Lord. I see the rise of a brand new day. And, you know, you
Mhm.
just trot along. As I
Yes.
said, before. Time is a commodity that money cannot buy.
At all.
You talk about living your best life right now. The
Mm-hmm.
mistake that a lot of us make is that we want to be 70 or 75 years old first before we go back home or living here, we could be
Mm-hmm.
Italian, and enjoy a little golden years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's something. You wait until you get arthritis, your back not good, you have a hip replacement, your knee. Come on, what you enjoying?
You're going to enjoy
You
none.
can't even go in the garden and pick some sugar apple. You can't pick up a mango. No, you can't walk. Some
Yeah.
of they build some big houses with a
Mm-hmm.
mile of stairs going this way, zigzag that way. You can even, if you come down the step, you can go back up because it's too hard on your knee. What
Mm-hmm.
are you going to enjoy?
Nothing.
Enjoy life now.
No.
Get some happiness now. Not
No.
when you
Yes.
turn 80 and you want to go down there and enjoy. You can't go on the beach, you can't swim, you can do
Mhm.
nothing. You're
Yeah.
gonna be watching people enjoy life.
Yes.
Enjoy your life now while you have it. You
Absolutely.
know? So you plan, you
And
put a
enjoy
plan
it
in place
in a healthy,
in
positive
a
way.
healthy way. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. That is the trick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Dennis, I applaud you. You are a man with so many qualifications, accolades. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get there, but I'll try.
I live out a whole lot. I
I
don't
know,
tell
right?
you.
Well, you have so many things, you had that was going for you, and mental illness was one of the things that took you away from that. But it's good to see that you jump from one, because you are a jack of all trades. We have a
Yes.
club, okay? I officially put it yet. We have Jackie of all trades, where the women do different things. You're jack of
Yeah.
all trades, okay?
Okay.
Because we call it, yeah, I call it, because the women, they do so much. So I can do so much with my hands. It's just that during my little process of going for years, I was trying to find my way for years. And you said something very important. You said that we have to find coping mechanisms to get out of whatever we're going through. You understand? And I could not find my way around, because I could not understand. I could not get the help that I needed. And once I got the help, and I got to understand this was what I was going through. No, I could not afford to do things medically. I could not
Mhm.
afford it, financially, to pay for certain stuff. But I was determined not to be in that state all the time. And I found a way to help me. And my writing, it began with my writing again.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
it began with me starting, because I was writing way when I was younger. So
Mhm.
between that time, from when I was younger until now, I had to find that passion that was there for me, that was helping me cope. And it was my
Mhm.
writing, you know.
Mhm.
And I cannot go to the beach because we don't have, well, they say they have beach in Georgia. I don't see the beach yet, but but I love the beach. I
Okay.
love climbing a coconut tree. I love
Yes.
climbing a mango tree. I love climbing
Yes.
a breadfruit tree. I
All
just love to
right.
go by the river and just lay down there and catch crayfish. That's what I feel,
Yes.
right?
That's me. That's how I grew up. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And so, you find that, so I had to find coping mechanisms, to be able to get myself out of it, because financially I could not afford the doctors. And I said, Cindy,
Okay.
are you going to stay and die? And when my little boy, when I put these pills in I would never forget it. And I thank God every day for that. That's why I mention it so much. When my little boy, when I put those pills in my mouth, and it was going to happen, because I'm not amount of pills and the dosage. When I put those pills in my mouth, and I put it in my mouth, and I lay down, and I was ready to swallow those pills, and my little boy burst out laughter. I
Mm.
pushed it, I jumped, and I said, "What the hell are you doing?" And I spit out all those pills, and I went in the bathroom, and I said, "What are you doing?" And I said, to cry, and I said, "You have this little boy there who needs you, who has a
Mhm.
disability, who needs you, and you will not allow yourself to be the mother. You understand? Grow." And I talked to myself a lot.
Ah,
I stood myself in the mirror while I was crying. I was mad at myself.
oh boy.
And from that moment on, Dennis, I knew my life would not be the same again, because this time I said I will never
Ah.
go back there again. The last time
Oh,
I tried to cut my wrist,
gracious.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I try to cut my wrist. I try to drink Zone. You know, I try to. Dennis.
Oh my God. I
What
know
am I
what,
doing?
because listen to me, statistics have shown that for every one person who commits suicide, right, because of mental illness, you have 20 who failed.
Mhm.
So just imagine, every 40 seconds, they say there's a suicide or suicide attempt in this country. Every 40
Mhm.
seconds. That's a lot.
Mhm.
And now, instead of, I'm not saying the suicide is good, but
Mhm.
what is worse is going into a school with a shotgun and just mowing down innocent students or children,
Hmm.
teachers, because something mentally is not right with you.
Yes.
Mass shooting,
Yes.
especially in the South down here.
Mhm.
And we experiencing a whole lot of that, or they just shoot on the side of the road, like we had here in Atlanta. You don't know that person. You don't know them. They don't know
Mhm.
you. It doesn't matter. They're going to shoot anyways. And a lot of times they want to go because they will shoot at the police so that the police could shoot them back and they die,
Mhm.
or it's suicide by the police, put it that way.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
mental illness is a serious issue. I think the government should be having programs to search, especially young in school, if they could identify, you know, um, isolate and then treat our kids at a
Mhm.
younger age before this thing develop and later on could lead into problem for society and all of that. If they could identify, that would be help, and bring the pathologist or the psychiatrist or the whatever name to deal with that issue, even in the church.
What I fear is that it is such a bad epidemic already, because it is an epidemic already.
It is.
It is such a bad epidemic that it may not be able to be controlled.
Yeah, it is. And I believe from the bottom of my heart, because we know there is something called genetic um, modification, GMO.
Mm-hmm.
We eat a lot of stuff that is not how
Genetically
God made it.
modified. Mm-hmm.
Everything has been, I mean, you eat watermelon nowadays, there is no
It's not a
seed.
watermelon.
Just imagine a watermelon without seed, no seed inside of it. You know what I'm saying? Everything has, and then if it's not that, pesticides,
Mm-hmm.
herbicides, and
Mm-hmm.
everything have steroids.
Yeah.
That is why I get involved with that health company to
Mm.
clean, but that's another topic.
Yes.
Um, so you are not you, because all of that, your gut microbiome, that
Mm-hmm.
your DNA and all of that stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
they're just making us into somebody or something we are not. I took the COVID shot.
Mm-hmm.
I took I took the first two, and then I took the booster, because they say if you get the booster, then you are super strong and da 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 da. I said, okay, well, boost me.
That was me.
Well, when she stick that booster in my shoulder, she said, what they said, you have to wait like 20 minutes to observation or something.
Mm-hmm.
I called my daughter. I said, Divine, you're driving. I said, that booster, I'm feeling it going in.
Mm.
By the time I get home, I was myself. Listen to me. That
Mm-hmm.
booster boosted me on my bed for 3 days. I was out. My
Mm.
head was so hot. That fever, roasting. Just, I mean, how they mess with people.
Because it is all of these things are viruses they put into us to counteract the
Yes,
virus.
I know.
Mm.
My head is, and the fever and the headache, like, you want to bust open. The headache was so hard on the brain, and I'm hot. I never had so. I am
Mm.
roasting. So my wife had to go and get ice, put the ice in a cloth, right? And I
Mm.
had ice below here and ice around my neck. I
Mm.
am so hot. But guess what? Below my feet, cold. I had to put two socks. And I'm
Wow.
like, wait, what's going on here? My
Mm-hmm.
feet freezing cold. I'm cold. But over
Mm-hmm.
here, I am roasting hot 3 days from the booster.
Mm-hmm.
I said after that. So I know everybody's messed up. So you know, a lot of the kids are going out there and shoot people. God knows, you know?
We never know in this life because there's so much that's going on in this world. That's so much that is not right. So much that we on the outside don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's important that we take care of ourselves. It is important that we do what is best in our own for our own consciences because we cannot judge one person's decision. You understand? So it
Mhm.
is best for what is good for what is consciously good for us. We do it. You understand? That's gonna we know our makeup. We know what we need to. We know we have to take care of ourselves. You know what will
Yes.
work for us and what will not, and then we have to protect ourselves accordingly. Listen, Dennis, it was such a pleasure to be here with you. And it was even more uplifting to hear your story and hear such strength because you have strength beyond what you think you do because you went through all of these things in New York and to come back here because I had never heard somebody even relate, even
Mhm.
like somebody I knew relate what they saw.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it was it was like I was seeing what you were seeing. You heard people say stories says that one was there, we saw the place, but for you to actually hear somebody tell you they saw somebody jump to that's yes. So I want to applaud you for your bravery to be able to
Yes.
talk about this and to this is a campaign that I'm on and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Men are They already say they have shortage. We don't need no more man shortage in this world, eh? Okay?
No, no,
Plenty
no.
women don't have no man.
Good.
So we
Good.
have to we have to um we have to be able to advocate for these things and to
Yeah.
bring awareness and to let the male out there know that it's okay to have a weak moment. It's okay that you're not okay, and it's okay to get help for mental health, for to build your mental health, because so many people sadly took that route
Mhm.
that I tried to take and didn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. I know. I
It's sad.
know. Well, thank
And
God
so
you are here and you threw it out,
mhm,
and you did not take it, but a lot. You know,
mhm,
I think over the weekend a friend called me from Canada. It
mhm.
was a girl this time, not a guy. She went to a mall, but before she went and shop, and she got some rope and all of that, and I don't know how she tied it up there and called her father on the phone. She was standing on a chair, and then she just kicked the chair off.
Life is a
By the time
precious
he got here, she was dead already.
life is a precious gift, and we
Yeah.
were not made to go through all of these things, but things are getting worse in this world, and so
Life is just hard.
people cannot cope.
Yeah, life is just hard now. You can't, years ago in Brooklyn, look, how much was a gallon of gas? How
Mm,
much was food? Look at, you
mm,
cannot even pay rent for a basement in Canarsie.
mm.
A house now is a two-family house in East New York. You have to have $1 million.
Wow.
They practically was giving away all those houses on Bed-Stuy and all those places like Bushwick and all of that. Now you can't even get not even an old bunk building there
Wow.
to buy. So you walk, 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 but the money that you make cannot stretch, and it affects your quality of life. Rent is up, car insurance is up. You go to the grocery. I mean, you don't know what you buy.
because you, and then that too contributes to our health declining
Yes. Hmm.
because we can't eat properly.
You can't. So you have to take the junk. You know it ain't good for you, but you have to get that old piece of, you know, processed meat, which you
Mm-hmm.
should not be eating,
Mm-hmm.
or that junk JJ fish fry with all that lard. They fry the thing saturated fat,
You
lard
don't
in it.
like that ginger fish burger, at all,
No,
eh?
because I ate it. I came from
Oh,
work and I was so tired. My wife said, I said, okay, let me just go and get. Man, when I came here and I ate that stuff, my stomach said, okay, you think you're sleeping tonight? This, that stuff want to come back up this way.
mm-hmm.
I was so uncomfortable all night. Acid reflux, the whole 9 yards. I never go back and buy this fat. It looked like they had been frying fish in it for days and they wouldn't throw it out
Oh
until it's
boy.
burnt, you know? But you
Mm-hmm.
know when, like the in the neighborhood, folks, they don't have money.
They go for the, and then listen, the good food is more expensive
The good food is
than
expensive.
the fast food that
So they go cheap. They wake up in the morning, they cross the street, they go in McDonald's, they buy this old burger thing, you know? And this is what contributes to obesity and a lot of stuff with all this added salt. And
mm-hmm.
then they go drink this soda to go down with it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So sugar, right? We consume too much sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everything when I'm doing the health program, I'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just people just they don't have the money. Things tight.
Absolutely,
And they're
absolutely.
losing jobs left, right, and center. Every time
Yes.
is this company closing down, even McDonald's closing down some McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody laying off, banks going out of business and they filing bankruptcy. I mean, where are the jobs our
Dennis,
kids will be getting?
Dennis,
You
the
know?
world is, it's not only the world is in crisis
The
right
whole
now.
world, yes.
The whole world is in crisis. And
Yes.
that's why we need to have faith. We need to have a way to connect with God. Because
Yes.
we cannot do it on our by ourselves. We cannot do it on our own. Listen, it's almost 9:25. It's almost 9:30. I just wanna, where can they find you if somebody wants to call you up for probably real estate or whatnot? Where can they find you? And we're gonna come back and talk about this because I
I
know we
am
will.
going to be back anytime, any
Yeah,
day you want me to come back, I'll be
yes,
back. So you can put up my number. My number
yes.
is 404
Mm-hmm.
839
849.
839
Uh-huh.
8468. Dennis with one N, Charles, right? 404 eight
Uh-huh.
three nine 8468. And as we were talking about health, I could just give them my website.
Okay, give me 1 second, okay? Let me write your name. Why am I on caps lock? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Dennis Charles, right?
yeah. 404 839
Uh-huh.
8468.
Uh-huh. And your website?
Yeah. Health for life
Uh-huh.
dot love biome biome.com. Health for life
Mm-hmm.
dot love biome.com. And you will see ways to get rid of that lard, that saturated fat,
Yes.
all the things that add, um, you know, the good substance, the enzymes and all of that, beta carotene and all of that stuff to our diet, the blueberries, the,
So
you know,
okay, so let me show. So it is Dennis 404 839
that's it.
8468. And then his website, you can go to his website, healthforlife.lovebiome.com.
Yes, and you would see everything you need. And if
Yes.
you want to talk to me to
Yes. Go ahead.
cleanse and to flush out your
Yes.
system and all of that stuff, Then we
Yes.
will take it from
So,
there.
and then we're gonna come back with you again for to discuss it in depth. Aloysius
Yes.
Jackson, that's my cousin. Good morning, family. How are you? And good night. How are you? Sean Flavius is on. Good night, Sean. And let me see, Cynthia Fontinel was on. So good night. So there's a few people that haven't even showed their faces out. I've on tonight. But thank you so much for your insight. Thank you so much for sharing your story and point your perspective with Placide. And it is always a pleasure to have people who can who will find the courage to come out and to speak to the viewers, because when you come out here and you speak, it's not only helping you, but it's helping the viewers to know that people go through stuff. We don't have to hide it. We are not alone in our struggles. A lot of times we feel alone, but we are not alone, because there's so many of us who would just want to hear that somebody else faced that, and they could derive strength from that person's experience. So thank you so much.
Yes. Thank
My
you again.
You're welcome. My motto on my business is rise to prosperity, and my motto is no tap outs. That's my slogan. There are no tap outs, and here we let your voice be heard. So do not tap out. Life will be tough. Life will throw you setbacks. Like Les Brown said, as long as you fall, you will fall. When you fall on your back, because once you can look up, you can get up. Okay?
Yep.
Never
Yep.
ever let failure be your finality. Okay, rise to your own prosperity. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you so much to all my viewers. Have an amazing, amazing night, and we will see you here tomorrow night. Okay, tomorrow night. Now, before I go, I want to tell you guys, listen. Saint We are having, myself and three other artists from St. Lucia. We are raising funds for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association. Okay, so we are having a dinner, a fundraiser for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association. This association really, really needs help in St. Lucia, so we need you guys to purchase the tickets. You can call me on my number 404-452-8674. I put it down. Call me to get a ticket. Even if you can't make it, make a donation, okay? Because we are trying to help as many as we can to get help. And that we start with the St. Lucia Blind Welfare. So come to Georgia, right? Come to Georgia. Come support us. It is gonna be at Le Gourmet Restaurant in Lawrenceville, Georgia. We're gonna have General Nia, John T, who sing Bobolis, and Natural Vibes, who is a Billboard charting artist, is also my cousin. Hey, cuz. And we're gonna be having, also guest artists coming up. So, guys, come support us. Call me for those tickets. And if you're in the Lawrenceville area, please, please, please get your tickets from the Gamier restaurant. Okay. So have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night with issues that matter, more on mental health and relationships. Okay. I will see you all soon. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you tomorrow.
Definitely.